Now, US President Donald Trump has said that he made no progress with Vladimir Putin on ending the Ukraine war in a call on Thursday. This as the Kremlin insisted that the Russian president would stick to his aims in the conflict. Speaking to reporters at Joint Base Andrews, Trump said that him and Russian President Vladimir Putin talked about Iran and the war in Ukraine during a pretty long call. He said he didn't make any progress on a deal to end the fighting in Ukraine, and he's not happy about that.
We had a call. It was a pretty long call. We talked about a lot of things, including Iran. And we also talked about, as you know, the war with Ukraine. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about it. No, I didn't make any progress with him today at all.
Trump's view of the call was unusually bleak. After most of his previous 5 calls with Putin since returning to power in January, he has given very optimistic reports of progress towards a deal. Trump's grim assessment came as US-led peace talks on ending the more than 3-year-old conflict in Ukraine have stalled and after Washington pushed some weapons shipments to Kyiv. In Moscow, the Kremlin said that the call between Putin and Trump lasted nearly an hour and that Putin insisted that he would not give up on Russia's goals in the conflict with Ukraine.
Наш президент также сказал, что Россия будет добиваться поставленных целей, то есть устранения всем известных первопричин, приведших к нынешнему положению дел, к нынешней острой конфронтации. И от этих целей Россия не отступится.
Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said Trump reiterated his proposal for a swift ceasefire in Ukraine, while Putin emphasized on resolving the conflict through political negotiations. Moscow has long described its goals in Ukraine as getting rid of the root causes of the conflict, demanding that Kyiv give up its NATO ambitions and recognize Russia's territorial gains. The conversation between Trump and Putin came days after Washington announced a decision to pause some weapons shipments in a blow to Kyiv, which has been reliant on Western military support. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky was visiting ally Denmark on Thursday to meet leading European Union officials. Zelensky told EU allies in Denmark that doubts over US military aid reinforced the need for greater cooperation with Brussels and NATO. Zelensky said he expects to have a telephone conversation with Trump, maybe tomorrow or in the next few days.
What about our bilateral relation with the United States and this support? So I hope that maybe tomorrow or in close days, these days, I will speak about it with the President Trump.
Meanwhile, EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen said Europe must beef up its aid to Ukraine following Washington's decision to pause some weapons shipments. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said Europe is not complete without Ukraine, as she vowed to use Denmark's time leading the EU's rotating presidency to push for Ukraine joining the Union. Furthermore, German Foreign Minister Johann Wadefull, after meeting his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi for a bilateral meeting in Berlin, called on China to use its influence on Russia to help end the war in Ukraine.
We must prevent Russia from waging this war with the supply of crucial war goods. I emphasized once again how important it is for China to do everything possible to ensure that such goods do not reach Russia from the People's Republic and ultimately support this war.